Hey, welcome back to Rustic Mountain, Sawdust and Lug Nuts. I'm here at an archway that I built last fall for Randy Little. He owns a auto body shop just up the way here. Him and his neighbor Jeff Allen, I did archways for both of them. They both raise alfalfa. So I've got lots of video that I want to show you this process from A to Z, from actually collecting the logs to cleaning the logs to notching the logs, bringing the telehandler in here, lifting them up, treating the bottoms. You can see the tar on the bottoms of them. I do a lot of log work along with fine furniture. I build pool tables, I build vanities, and I do a lot of epoxy pour for countertops, the two-part epoxy. We're going to show a little bit of that as well. Along with woodworking, the lug nuts portion of this channel is old cars and trucks, and I've got some pretty cool old cars and trucks. We will cover them in future videos as we move along in this channel. So basically just wanted to show you what's going on. Appreciate you watching and hope that you guys can help us grow this channel. So if you like the content, please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and you'll get notified when I drop another video. So I appreciate you watching. I showed you some other archways earlier that were round. This archway is square. These are big old beams that I ordered. Because of the length of the header beam, the local mill would only go out to 20 feet. I needed 24, so I ended up having to go to Flagstaff down to Silas Page. Cool guy in Flag. If you ever need something milled up, he's your man. This is the entrance to Cave Lakes, which is a resort property that has overnight rentals, and it's near Kanab. If you're ever in Kanab, need a place to stay, check them out, Cave Lakes.
Hey, where are we at today?
Okay, we're stopping here at Muley Crazy. So we're gonna go in his showroom and we're gonna show you kind of what I've been doing for him. Let's go on in there and check it out. Come on in. I thought you said no one was here, Ryan.
There was nobody here that called,
That was 2 minutes ago.
and you can run them cups
There
on,
are some
but
monster animals in
it
here.
still doesn't help you, your blackout still
Look at
comes.
these.
But you get to where, like when I use it, you get to where you don't notice the morning brightest. I mean,
Because the BTS is darker than the morning. My BTS.
This is one of the pieces I built. It's all out of aspen tongue and groove. And then these pedestals are out of aspen. See this pedestal here with the full body mount? I built that. I built that one with the big old burl mount in it. We put a habitat shelf on it so we could put sand and rocks and vegetation and whatever else. I think that's one of my favorite pedestals just because of all the cat face. To get that cat face and that character right there, that tree was scarred when it was young, and as it continued to grow, that's just kind of like a scar. These are all sheds. Each year deer drop their antlers and he goes out and picks them up. So this aspen shed fence or rail is something I built for him as well. I built this rack for him, just displaying his hoodies and shirts. I built that pedestal. I built that t-shirt rack. I built that pedestal. I built these pedestals as well. I think that's the Buck of Justice. No, that's Samson. He scored 288. Just a freaking hog, man. And then we've got the cougar kill on this buck here. I built that pedestal and that platform as well for this whole thing.
It's a big angry cat.
So I guess the only thing left is this pedestal. It's just a full body mount. He's called Lucky, but obviously he's not so lucky because here he is.
Yeah.
He's a 268-inch buck, which is just a toad. 269 inches, that buck right there.
What does that mean? Just like from
They measure all the, they measure the mass, they measure up to the first floor, and they measure all the tines. The biggest buck I've ever shot was like 201. So when you see something 269, that's just freaking out of this world. Houdini, a 304-inch buck. They don't get much bigger than that. A mule deer that's 304 inches, that's just unheard of. It's muley crazy in Kanab, Utah, if you want to look him up. So I thought I'd bring you in here. This is the pro shop at Mount Carmel Junction, the Best Western. It's ran by Ed and Arlene Meyer, also Gordon Milligan. I started Rustic Mountain Furniture in 1997, and this was the first commercial job that I took in 1998. So these are 25, 26 years old. The first prototype was this bar stool. Look at this thing. And Eddie liked it, so he told me to just go ahead and keep it and not tear it apart. And then these right here evolved from that. If we move into here, you're going to see that the furniture quality and the style changed. These are probably 15 years old. So we evolved from pretty much Flintstone stuff to some really fine furniture. And another thing I want to show you is they let my creative juices flow right in here. You're going to like this. So they put these big doors in, and they wanted me to trim all this out. This is actually a gun stock red color. This is my early American, and this was like a honey pine. But they said just use your imagination, let your creative juices flow. So I wanted to do a beadboard wainscot, and then I just wanted to do the tongue and groove above that. And then I trimmed it all out with the gun stock. So basically, this is where it all began, right here. This was my first commercial job. If you want some of the best pie in southern Utah, you come to the Best Western Thunderbird, the restaurant. It's the home of the homemade pie. This is where it began. Two of my passions in life are woodworking and messing around with old cars and trucks. This here is a prime example. I traded some woodwork for this old 67 Dart. I think the old girl needs a big block. I think it needs a 440. What do you think?
I think it needs a 440.
I think it needs a 440. It's a pretty rough old doll, but I didn't pay a whole lot.
It's got good patina.
Yeah, it's a cool old car. And there's 3 one-barrel carburetors in here. You could put one on your F-150. Let's come right over here. This here's another one of my projects. As you can see, I've got a 65 Barracuda here with a 273 Commando in it and a 64 Valiant for parts. They're pretty much the same vehicle. I'm hoping to make one out of the two. This here's a 72 build that I started to tear down and just haven't had the time to put it back together. But this is an AC cab, automatic truck, and it's all original and everything is here. There is 0 rust in this thing. This is probably the cleanest 72 cab I've ever owned, and I've owned probably a dozen of these trucks. But this one here is top notch. Other than, I caught a little kid out here a few weeks ago with the BB gun, shot my back window out. That's always fun, isn't it? Yeah. The cool thing about this truck is it was my grandfather's truck. He bought it new. He sold it in 1987 while I was in England serving a mission for my church. It took me 32 years to get the truck back. There's another cool thing about it is the kid that bought this truck used the block out of my little 84 that my brother built for me while I was on my mission. So this is not only my grandfather's truck, but the 350 that's in this used to be the motor that was in my little 84 short box square body. I've owned it about a year and it hasn't been started for a while, so we wanted to See if we can get it started. Looked like someone left the key on. I got lots of boys that like to drive it. I did put a new battery in it. I've got big plans for this truck. I've got a 74 square body down at the shop that's got disc brakes, power steering. I'm working a deal right now with Fabrats, and they're going to be putting the front end under this truck for me. I'm going to go ahead and start this, get the jumper cables, get that thing charging. That's even charging. Let that charge for a few minutes and hopefully she'll fire.
Alright, we return with an upgraded arsenal. Double the jumper cable. I just need a little sprinkle of go-go juice. Just set that down gently. Good thing we got gas. Smells like the good stuff. All this homemade fuel injection.
Give her a shot.
Crank it, it's on fire. Quit catching on fire, you. It's only a tiny bit. But on the good news, it looked like it was pumping gas.
Where's the prime again?
It is on the hood of that car. So I figured having it anywhere near the truck was maybe not the greatest idea.
Let's just make sure it goes right down the hole. Yeah.
Just run, you angry old thing. A little bit grumpy.
Sounds like it's gonna idle though. Let's see if we got any water in here though. No, not much. Let's check the tranny fluid and then we'll shut it off. Come back with some ATF and some antifreeze.
Empty?
Yeah, she's gonna
alright.
need some. Gonna need about 6 quarts of ATF. It just barely had a little on the stick, and probably a gallon of antifreeze before we dare drive it. So I don't want to screw something up.
Nice shopping list.
Yeah, nice shopping list. Keep watching. Like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content like this. Until next time, thanks
Sounds
for
like
watching.